What It Takes Radio Company, a podcasting and publishing company, inviting you to, hey, join us for Do It Right, a business performance coaching experience for this special day of Passover Day and Maundy Thursday. They come together, and together they teach us something vital for life and business, maybe starting right over today.
Greetings once again, my friends. This is Stan, and it is Passover Day. That's right. Just yesterday, I talked about the hidden days of Holy Week, which, of course, were after Palm Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The days that the Christian calendar doesn't really celebrate to any extent. Yet at the same time, those were three very, very important days, which led to this day, which is kind of the celebration day or the commemoration day or the festival day, or however you want to frame it at this particular time. But it is also not only Maundy Thursday, when the Last Supper is commemorated, and what began as the betrayal of Jesus took place, and the trial began, or the torture began, leading to the trial. It's a day where we are in black. The scene is turning black. It is turning bad, and so we dress in black. We maybe commemorate with a little red that says that there is hope in all of that. But I wanted to just do something that could perhaps be helpful to me and maybe helpful to you. One of the tough things, and yet one of the good things about the work I do, is that once it's recorded, as I tell people, it's kind of a touch of immortality, because there are things that I did 25, 30 years ago which are still around. And the videos and the radio programs and the publications that I did, because that was the work I did, they're still around and hanging around. And just recently, somebody sent me something that I did about 4 or 5 years ago, just as we were coming out of the COVID situation. And he said, this was really good, Stan. I remember when you did this, and I found it, and I'm going to send it back to you and ask you, would you have anything different to say about it? And so I looked and I said, oh yeah, I remember that now. Well, let me just tell you what I have, and perhaps maybe even that it's relative even now. Got my granny greeting glasses on, because sometimes I don't do real well unless I have the special reading glasses. I had done up things called the real pro skills we need, the things that we need to do to make things happen. And as I looked at it, and I said, well, here we are at an Easter time, when many people actually use the Easter and Passover times as kind of a way to start over again, get back to it. Get back to the full art of living well and living better. We do it obviously at the New Year's celebrations, but now we're 3 or 4 months, and that kind of has faded. So some of us, okay, now we'll give it another shot. We'll try and be a little more focused. Well, here's what I said 4 or 5 years ago, and if I can just kind of share it with you and see if it has any relevance today. What I said was very simple, in the fact that someone asked me, where did I get all the stuff to be on the radio and on the TV and put all this stuff out? And I said, well, for some time I've been a wisdom seeker. I just, I look for things that, this is part of my broadcast background. I'm always looking for something that could be a radio program. And so whenever I encounter some good stuff, some wise stuff, some helpful stuff, some useful stuff, and as they say, a good broadcaster borrows it. Well, they do more than that. Sometimes they steal it. Well, I try and make sure I give a due regards if I borrow anything. So that's what I did. And can I just share this with you? I said this, there is no free way to wisdom, but there are some things that perhaps can help you live better and prepare you for a better life. And maybe because of that, they do qualify as wisdom. Here's what I said. Remember, the future belongs to the storyteller. All effective communication is storytelling. The future belongs to those who frame meaning, clarity, and compellingly in storytelling. That is more true than ever. Storytelling is a secret that you cannot keep to yourself if you're good at it. And if you don't know how to do it, you're going to have to learn how to do it. That's how the performance economy in this world works. I also said design. I always like design. I love to see things that are well designed, that you can, a simplicity but an elegance to them. And I have friends who, that's what they do, and they do it well. You know, they can take ordinary things and just make them have a sense of extraordinary in how they put things together, whether it's a writing or an artwork or anything, a sense of design, good design. Design is not decoration. It's an experience. And you know what? It builds trust even before a word is spoken. When you see something that has been well designed, that has that aesthetic and good touch to it, it begins to build trust. Yeah, it really does. Okay, number 3, still true, more true than ever. You got to be a broadcaster. You're going to have to learn how to use, in front of the camera and behind the microphone. More and more, that skill is vital, and that's the work I do. You'll have to learn how the mass media and marketing and mentoring, how that works, since that is the fundamental means of communication today. As I point out, when I was young, I was a paper boy, and that was the media of choice. And as I would make it along my route, almost every house had the newspaper. It was really quite easy to tell people when I had a substitute. Just say, you go up this street and just give the newspaper to every house. Everyone subscribes to the newspaper. Well, here in this apartment complex, I think of the 60 to 70 places, there's 2 or 3 that actually get the newspaper. Number 4, and it's just a project that I have worked on and have to live with. You're going to have to be a risk taker. Now, AI is changing almost everything, and it's going to change careers mightily. Someone once asked, said, do you think there is a career that will survive or a good job that will survive AI? And I said, well, I can think of one. Please pardon me on this, but this is this is prophetically true. I said, I've always admired and always am glad when I need a plumber that a plumber shows up. And what they do is they bring water in and they help get poop out. And everybody needs water and everybody poops. And so if you're a plumber, you probably have at least a medium of job security. You're going to be needed. Other than that, many things of significance, except for some of the basic skills that are so necessary and so vital. But it also means that you're going to have to learn how to design your own ways of creating value. You're going to have to think like an entrepreneur, maybe even become like an entrepreneur. There is one gentleman now who essentially said that every school should teach, it'd be teach, and it might be a treat, uh, entrepreneurialism, because everything else you don't know, but you need to know how to start your own business, how to market and sell yourself, and be able to do something that you can do that other people will find useful. And we ought to be teaching that. The churches, the places of worship, all of the organizations, institutions should be teaching young men and women how to be entrepreneurs. Well, of course, I believe in that. Take a risk. Learn how to take a risk. You cannot play it safe much longer all the time. You have to know how risk taking can be done, and not done foolishly or recklessly, but take a risk. You know, as someone said, most of us, our mothers said to us as we left for school, said, be careful. And there was one guy who told me that his mother was quite a different one. She said, well, don't worry, be careful, but take a few risks today. Just a few. Try something new. Try something different. It'd be good. Learn how to sleep. That's vital today. You're going to learn how to sleep. Now, if you don't sleep well, get some help. I am grateful that I've learned how to sleep, and I get good sleep, and I do it well, and it's really helpful. So learn how to sleep well. Prayer. Speaking, listening, and being still. Now, I'm not religious. Well, okay. But that's too bad, because ritual and rigor, those are good things to have. And the whole idea of being connected to a sense of transcendence, knowing how to ask and be thankful and grateful, those things which go into what people usually call prayer are going to be even more vital than ever, particularly in challenging and changing times. So perhaps that would be helpful to learn. Learn how to say the right things. I mean, just be always prepared to say right things. Think about that now. What are some of the things that you should just be prepared to say? Learn to say, I'm grateful. I have found that people oftentimes just stop for a moment or two whenever I say to them, thank you. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. I'm grateful. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Say thank you all the time, 100 times a day. Say thank you. I cannot believe how many people never say thank you. We have a real deficit of what I call old-fashioned gentlemen and gentle ladies. Good manners in how you speak. No, you aren't impressing anybody by using the latest words that express shock or whatever you have. It now is not helpful. Learn to say good things. Learn how to say, can I help you? Or how can I help you? And here's something that is very powerful. Learn to say, I just don't know. I just don't know. What do you think? What do you know? Because I don't know. And more and more that's true. And so let's stop faking it and let's just admit that in many, many cases we don't know. And so there's no sense in having an argument with us or a debate because we've already claimed that we don't know. Deal with it. Find somebody who thinks they do know and fight with them. But we're not in the fighting mood or mode at this time. Well, that's read the secret sign. Remember, everybody is wearing a secret sign. Yes, I have one on too. You do too. It's secret, but it's big and it's right here. And you know what the sign says? Please tell me I'm important. Please tell me I'm important. Please make me feel important. If you do what the sign says, I guarantee you a lot of life will go better. It's time to begin the commemoration or the celebration of the Holy Supper, the Maundy Thursday. For you, my dear friends who are finishing up your Passover time, I trust it was a blessed time, a good time, particularly a family time, maybe a time of new resolutions and intentions, and a sense of saying, yes, God gave us our freedom at Passover. The death angel passed us over, and the Egyptians let us go, and we were free at last after 400 years. And we celebrate once again. And I would hope and pray that as a result of this conflict, that there would be a renewed birth of safety and freedom for the people of Israel. That they don't have to live in fear of the missile, of the stormtrooper, of the terrorist, of the people who simply want to kill them because of who they are. I will pray mightily that evil will be diminished, defeated, maybe even destroyed at this Passover time. All the best and blessings to you, my friends. Please reach out to me. We are doing a lot of work in helping people find out how they're going to live well and how they're going to live transformed lives. We welcome you into the transformation zone for your life and business. Stan at witradio.net, Stan at witradio.net. Till next time, bye for now.